Hello, we're back. Yesterday, we talked about adding and subtracting fractions. If you did not turn in your work already, you need to do that now, okay? If your work is for some reason not done, you need to figure out a way to get it done, have it to be turned in tomorrow. Have it to be turned in tomorrow. That will be a grade. I don't have you guys do work and not give you credit for it. Everything that you do, you will have some kind of credit for. I need it. All right. To review the parts of a fraction that we looked at before, a fraction has to be written in A over B. A is the numerator, B is the denominator. Today we're talking about multiplying and dividing fractions. When you add or when you subtract a fraction, yeah, we can, pull out little blocks and things like that, and we can show you visually how that works. It doesn't work quite the same way with fractions. So we're going to, I'm going to show you how to multiply and how to divide fractions. The good news is that with this one, we do not need a common denominator. In fact, it makes it harder if we find a common denominator first. So let's look. We're going to multiply first. Let's use 1/4 times, and I use the dot for times. We don't use an X because then we get confused with variables later. 1/4 times 3/7. 1/4 times 3/7. When we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across and we simplify. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 7 is 28. We're left with 3 28ths. Here's a question though. Can we divide 28 by 3? That answer is no. The closest that we get is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. That's not 28, so we can't do anything. That's all that we can do here. Okay, that's all we can do. We leave it at 3 28ths. When we multiply fractions, we might not need to show as much work. If we did need to simplify, you need to show me how you simplified that work. To review, multiply straight across, simplify if needed. If you would start out with a mixed number, you need to convert it to an improper fraction first, and I'll show you how to do that with our division problem. Okay, let's take 2 1/2 divided by 5/8. 2 1/2 divided by 5/8. This is really one of the only times when I want to see division written in this form. So there are two things that we need to do before we get our answer with a division problem like this. The first thing we have to do is convert 2 1/2 into an improper fraction. The second thing we're going to have to do is turn this division problem into a multiplication problem. Let's start with the easy part. Let's convert this 2 1/2 into an improper fraction. To do that, I said we get mad. We multiply, we add, then we divide. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And we divide that 5 by the 2 that we started with. Okay? 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. We keep the 2 because we still have to divide by 2. Alright, so when we're converting to an improper fraction, we get mad. We multiply, we add, then we divide. So this is the same as saying 5/2 divided by 5/8. Okay? Do you know how to divide this? I don't know how I can divide 5/2 into 5/8 groups. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this into a multiplication problem by taking the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of 5/8. So I'm going to take 5/2 times 8/5, because the multiplicative inverse is the value of that fraction when we flip it upside down. Because when you multiply 5/8 and 8/5 together, you get 1. Okay, and we call that the multiplicative inverse. Five halves times 8/5. 5 times 8 is 40. 2 times 5 is 10. Luckily, these both end in a 0, so those zeros cancel out. It's the same as dividing both by 10. We end up with 4/1, which is 4. So our answer here is 4 whole. I'm going to go over that again real quick because we went kind of fast. The first thing we did, we converted our improper fraction. We converted to an improper fraction from the mixed number. Then we took our division problem and we turned it into a multiplication problem by taking the multiplicative inverse. We multiplied straight across, just like we did before, and we ended up with 40/10, or 40/10. Because they both end in a 0, we can cancel those zeros out. It's the same as dividing both by 10 to simplify. 4/1 is the same as 4 whole, so our answer is 4 whole. What you need to do now, you have practice problems that you need to complete. Anything that is not completed in class is homework tonight. If you finish in class, you can turn it in. If not, you need to turn it in tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm collecting work. So if there is anything that you owe me, if you owe me syllabi, which is the plural of syllabus, which was due today, okay? I need your syllabus to be able to check off. I need your I'm a Mathematician page. That needs to have been turned in. I need your adding and subtracting fractions, and I need your multiplying and dividing fractions. So there are 4 things that I should be getting from each of you, when I come tomorrow morning to pick up work. All right? Do what you need to do. If you have questions, ask. And remember, you can always shoot me an email or send me a message through GChat if you have questions. I will see you all tomorrow in video. Have a great one.